Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chamber Chat. If you're wondering, well, that's not Ben Buckland. He must have got younger. No, this is Cade Kennedy filling in for Ben today. Of course, always alongside Jody Broad. Jody, how are you doing today?
Good. That made me think, if Ben got younger, it makes me think we need to pull out some of Ben's younger days of being on the radio, right? And just listen to his voice a little bit. I don't know. That's where my mind goes. So, but yeah, Chamber Chats, woohoo. We've got always got stuff going on at the Chamber. More than enough. And as I always say, if you are bored, it is your own fault because there is always something happening in Alva.
There absolutely is. And it's always something that I guess you don't really think about it until you're out of town for a few days and you come back. I was in Oklahoma City yesterday helping a friend. And when I got back, just thinking, there's so much that goes on that we don't ever think about. Talking to someone, I was at the pool the other day, and you don't think about the pool. It's something that if you don't think about it long enough, you just start to take it for granted. But we always have something going on, and we were talking a little bit before we got started that I didn't even think about. Crazy Days is coming up pretty soon, is it not?
Absolutely. Crazy Days happens the third weekend of July every year. It's been happening that way for many, many years. And Kate, I'm a little bit weird with dates. I just know these random dates of things that happen. And maybe it's me living here for so long, I'm like, oh yeah, that's when this happens. Or maybe it's me just wanting to be involved and just getting involved so I know when the things happen and I just make a mental note of those things happening. So third weekend of July every year, that's when Crazy Days comes. And along with Crazy Days is the Crazy Cool Boulevard Cruise that happens also third weekend of July every year, right along with Crazy Days. What is Crazy Days? Crazy Days is when our local businesses have these crazy awesome deals. I remember back in the day, it was so exciting when Rialto had their movie rentals. Oh my goodness. You would go by there and they would be getting rid of their old DVDs for like next to nothing. And so you wanted to get there early and get your DVDs. But of course, we are beyond the days of DVDs. Some people still pull them out. We've got the digital downloads and all of that, but kind of miss the DVD days. I don't know. So, but all of the shops around the square, not only around the square, but even G&G will have some great sales happening. Bar S out on the west side of the boulevard will have some great sales happening. So just make sure that you go pop in all of your local shops so you don't miss out on anything. I know Daisy Village, they are going to be transitioning to an online store. And so they're having a huge blowout as well this weekend for Crazy Days. Of course, the Chamber is offering free drinks for the first 50 people at Holder Drug and Rialto. So make sure you pop in there and get a free drink there. And then, of course, there are going to, I say of course, not necessarily of course, but we have invited like just random pop-up shops to come down onto the square, and those will be set up on the courthouse lawn there. Nam and Pops will have inflatables downtown, and the farmers market is going strong, continuing on. That is in the courthouse parking lot. So make sure that you pop by there and see what those vendors have as well. So if you're into the cruise, actually, before the cruise, head over to the swimming pool, head to Rialto in the afternoon, and the first 100 people get their admission paid for by Wisdom Heritage Bank. And then in addition to that, Blue Peak popped in to give away popcorn to the first 100 people. So lots of cool stuff happening this weekend.
I mean, it's going to be a big movie week too. I mean, The Odyssey comes out. That's a pretty big movie. I know a lot of people are excited about it. It's a bit of a long movie, so I do want to prepare people. If you want to watch that, I checked it because I'm going to see it in a few days as well. And I was like, well, it's supposed to be really good. I checked and saw it was 3 hours long.
Oh.
And I thought, like, some people can handle a 3-hour movie. You talked about things you bring back. For some of those movies, you might have to bring the old intermission back.
Right.
Let's go an hour and a half. Let's take a break. Give everyone 5 minutes. Get up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, get back. But no, I was at Rialto at the tail end of the rentals when I was here, and I was just kind of thinking about, I still have a DVD collection at my own house that's like over 100 strong, and it's just. There's something about having physical media.
Yes.
There's something about being able to actually see what you're holding, and hold what you have instead of just knowing that any moment it could get taken away. I mean, it was a big thing for video games that Sony announced last week that they're ending physical copies of all their games in 2028.
Oh my God.
And I mean, it was one of the most disliked social media. You can't really dislike anything on Twitter, things like that. But if there was a button, it would be one of the most disliked things I've ever seen. So many people coming out saying, well, I'm canceling all my subscriptions with Sony and canceling all this, because that's one thing you don't mess with. People want to actually be able to hold on to something as long as they can until they see it break themselves. They don't want to see someone take it away from them.
Right. And someone can't take that away from you. Like as a digital thing, it's like, oh, that's not available anymore on this streaming service. Now you have to get this streaming service if you want that. Like those kind of things too. I mean, I'm sure that it works differently a little bit with video games. So let me ask you, Cade, what generation do you fall under? Like what? So I'm technically I'm in a micro generation called the Zennials, and my son always makes fun of me for this. He's like, that's not a real thing. I'm like, it is a real thing, because I'm like the tail end of Gen X, but the beginning of the millennials. So where do you fall in that?
So I am the early half of Gen Z.
Okay.
So 2002, there's actually, you talk about micro generations, they are real, because there's a Gen Z millennial equivalent called the Zillennials, which is kind of that like super late tail end of the 90s, like 96, 97 to like 2000. But both my sisters were millennials. So like everyone in my family, I just got grouped along with the older stuff. So it's very funny at Northwestern, because most of my counterparts are millennials, and there's Kate, you act exactly like us. So I'm just like, so I just kind of got co-opted by the millennial generation is how I like to put it.
Okay.
I am Gen Z. I relate to Gen Z, but I can also relate to older people.
Gotcha.
This is what happens when I was always the youngest of any group I was in ever.
Yeah. Well, I tend to being in that, I was there before all of the technology, but still there for all the technology. And so I get the technology, but also I remember life before. And so I kind of I remember when we got our first VHS player, and it was so exciting. When we got the original Nintendo, and all we had was, Duck Hunt Super Mario Brothers. And you got to blow on that thing to make sure that it works. But you know what? And we even still have those kind of things in the closet. And there's just something about that nostalgic thing. But that's what I go to when I think about those DVDs and all of that. So anyway, regardless of that, there's going to be great sales going on this weekend. Make sure that you pop in to all of the shops. Wendy Ford is going to be downtown. They, I believe, are maybe even doing some giveaways. I'm not sure. I mean, they're not giving away a new car, but they've always got some great giveaways, and they'll have some cars parked downtown. I believe their plan is to be across from Rialto, and so you can go check out what they have, and just check out everything that is going on. Now, prior to that, we still have things that are going on this week. I think that tonight might be the last night it is for the Rainforest Falls, which is a VBS at the First United Methodist Church. That is happening. Last night is tonight. That's kids age 3 through 5th grade. There is, and you were talking about the pool earlier. Stay tuned to what's happening. Follow City of Alva Pool on Facebook because they've got extra stuff that's happening. Like last night was the ladies' night, and so I mean, obviously, you can't go to that, Cade, but yeah, but they have night swims that they're offering in addition to their open hours from 1 to 6. So there's always something going on at the pool. Wednesday today, right now, it's happening. The Gulp and Gallop Pickup at Northwestern Ranger Football Stadium. This is a summer food program. It's a great box that they've got full of snacks to grab for your kiddo. They offer this every week, but you can go pick that up, and it's for kids under age 18. I think it's actually up to age 18. So if you're 18, have a kiddo 18 and under, go grab a food box. There's actually one available for each of your kids if you have multiple. So you can get signed up by going to the Woods County Coalition page, or you can just show up and they'll get you on the list. Tomorrow night, Singo for Blakely. They are doing Singo at Alva Beer Co., and that begins at 6 p.m. So make sure that you pop by there. That is a $10 suggested donation per card, and you can support Blakely, who is fighting fighting against a rare form of cancer, and we just continue to pray for her and we support her in that. So go check out Singo on Thursday at Alva Beer Co. Also, there's a community Bible study that is happening at Graceful Arts. Steve Ham is the one who leads that. You can check that out at Graceful Arts. He is the pastor at the College Hill Church of Christ, and that happens every Thursday from 6 to 7. Community coffee is this Friday. So if you want to get up and come over to Dream First Bank at 8 a.m., we are having our July community coffee. Come check that out. That happens every month on the third Friday, minus March and October. Why minus March and October? Well, because it's spring break and fall break, and we have found that people tend to not necessarily come on those months. So why have it if people aren't going to show up? So we do have that community coffee. That's a great way to just be informed on what is happening in the community. It's a great way to make connections and just, I guess a great way to get some coffee and breakfast too. So come on over to Dream First Bank, 8 a.m. on Friday morning. So yeah, there's always, I forgot, the health fair is happening on Saturday also. That's going to be out at the Woods County Fairgrounds from 10 to 2. That is put on by Uplift Alva. And of course, I'm getting all of this information from our newsletter. The Chamber sends out a newsletter every week. It typically happens around 4 o'clock on Mondays with all of these flyers in it. So you can get on that list by going to alvaok.net and getting signed up for the newsletter. So of course, if you sign up for the newsletter, you also have to open it and read it. And just signing up for it isn't going to give you the information. You got to open the email. You got to scroll through the email. And even then, you've got to scroll to the bottom of the email. If you have not seen the platinum members be displayed, you have not gone through the entire email yet. In addition to that, there are many, many things coming up. We do have at alvaok.net. I'm looking over here, and Cade always goes to our events page, and we try to keep that up to date so that you know what's going on, so that there's multiple places for you to check out what is happening in Alva. Of course, our chamber Facebook page as well is a great resource to see what's happening. So speaking of Facebook Facebook and social media, this morning at 10 a.m., Nightlight announced a new concert coming up. So Nightlight is just, and ABC, they are just killing it with the live band performances. So if you are a fan of live music, Alva is the place to be. Nightlight just announced this morning. Did you see this?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Nightlight just announced this morning that Aaron Watson will be in Alva, and I actually don't have the date in front of me. I did just put it on the community calendar. I think maybe I might not have hit save before I came here, so it might not be on there yet. But it's in September. Aaron Watson is coming, but coming up at the Alva Beer Co. next week is Cody Hibbard. That's an acoustic night happening, and Buster Clifton Davis will be at Alva Beer Co. August 8th. Aaron Watson is at the Nightlight on September 18th. See, I was thinking it was September 18th, and I was like, is that right? If I say that, is that going to be misinformation?
You're good.
So I'm good. I did hit save. Kate found it on the event calendar. Rigby Summer is at Alva Beer Co. On August 29th. So, and Henry Merchant, another one, August 22nd. So there's just so many things that are happening right here in Alva. So make sure that you are tuned in to what is happening. Now, Kate, I got to put a shameless plug in here because I'm director of the Wesley House on campus.
Feel free to.
And next Tuesday, we're having our Smash Burger fundraiser. We did this in June, and it was a huge hit. And we're bringing it back in July. So next Tuesday, July 21st, come to the Wesley House. That's 1027 8th Street right here in Alva, right across from Shockley Hall, and come get yourself a Smash Burger by donation. If you have not had one of Jared's Smash Burgers, now is the time to do it. This is the most requested meal that we have during the semester when students are there. And so we decided let's offer it one more time this summer before we get back into cooking for the kids in August. So that's my shameless plug. It is happening from 11 a.m. to 1:30. So wherever your lunch break falls, you should be able to come over and get a Smash Burger.
And looking at some of the other events, the one that's caught my eye, there's a dart tournament at the Moose on Friday. I mean, I have my dart board set up in the office. I don't know if I should be testing it that much. People might get worried if they keep hearing thuds all over the wall, but I need to get that set up and I guess get ready for that. And they've got some other tournament. They've got a pool tournament coming up next Tuesday night, 7 to 9, so that'll be fun.
That happens on the regular at the Moose. Those events are on the regular, happens like every, what is that? Was it Saturday, Friday?
It's Tuesday for the pool tournament and Friday night for the darts tournament.
And that is on the regular. So you can always hop into the Moose and check that out. Those are for members and qualified guests. A qualified guest is someone who has been approved by a member. And hey, you can become a member of the Moose too. So if you enjoy the things that they've also got random karaoke nights and that sort of thing. Go ask them what they are all about so you can decide if you want to be part of the Moose.
And then, of course, one of the big ones, enrollment.
Oh.
It's coming up July 22nd, 8 a.m. Alva Public Schools enrollment officially opens. That is always, I remember as a kid enrollment day because I'd always go with my mom, and it was just always like, what are we doing? I don't want to go to school. It's July. Why do I have to go up here?
Well, now they don't even have to. They don't have to go to school for that because your parents can just do it online. It's now all online. So you just don't even tell your kids that you're enrolling them.
Then you just keep it a secret. Yeah, joke's on you. You have to go back next year. You got to keep doing this for the next 12 years.
That's right.
But I mean, there's always good stuff. The Alva Farmers Market, of course, is always going to be down there. The coalition meetings, more pool tournaments are in here. But it's always good just to see some of the events we have going on. And of course, the Salt Fork Event Center, that big ceremony's coming up August 7th. That's not too far away. I was thinking about it, talking to some of the coaches today, even yesterday, and it's hard to think it's 1 month. Not even a month, but 1 month until athletics start again at Northwestern.
It's 1 month until school starts. I was supposed to come back with this information. Ben told me last week, come back with the information about the first day of school. First day of school is August 13th at Alva Public Schools.
There we go. So you guys start a little bit before Northwestern. That's kind of typical, a few days before. But we've got our athletics calendar on RideRangersRide.com. August 15th, soccer starts their exhibitions. First home game will be August 27th. That's in a month and 12 days. I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared for 40 days away from back in the saddle, have everything rolling again.
Yes. And that I have been working on putting those events on the events calendar as well. Everything that is at Ride Rangers Ride. It's riderangersride.com?
Yes.
Okay. Riderangersride.com is where you find the entire sports slate for Northwestern. So there are some websites that you can go to so that you know everything that is going on. We try to put an exhaustive list of everything that's happening right there at alvaok.net. But if you miss something, if we miss something, you can always go to riderangersride.com to find all of these sports events at Northwestern. Of course, nwosu.edu is going to get you the full calendar of everything else that is going on. And then if you go to, well, I'm not sure what it is right off the top of my head. I Google Alva Public Schools, and I think it's alvaschools.net, but I may be wrong on that. So Google that and go click on to see what is happening. And there's an events calendar right there on the Alva Public Schools website. So these are some main ones that you can hit up so that you know the main events that are happening right here in Alva.
Exactly. And I mean, the Ride Rangers Ride stuff, I've been working on that all summer, trying to get all the schedules in there. We just got basketballs even in already. We're excited, keep the momentum going. New coach on the men's side for that. Of course, women's basketball trying to defend their Great American Conference title. Football, the Coach Partridge era is here. We're excited to see September 10th. We're under 2 months away from the first game at Ranger Field. Soccer's trying to make another run at the Great American Conference playoffs. Volleyball is trying to keep momentum going, build off of a season last year that was just plagued by injuries. And so it is an exciting time at Northwestern. Everyone I've been talking to, they are all extremely excited to see what this year holds, and I'm excited as well.
Well, I'm trying to stay up to date with you as you get those events in the calendar, because I have volleyball and I have football. That's what I had last printed out so that I could put them onto the calendar for the chamber. So I'm going to have to go update those others that you've got in there on the Ride Rangers Ride website.
Well, Jody, I think we've covered everything. We got crazy days, we got tournaments, farmers markets, everything you could possibly want.
Yeah. One other thing that just came to my mind is soon, very soon, in the newsgram, what will be coming out is the Fair Book. The Fair Book will be coming out soon. And when you look into the Fair Book, that's going to give you all of the information about the Woods County Fair. The Woods County Fair happens the weekend after Labor Day. So know that that is coming up so you can start getting your fair projects ready. So fair projects aren't just for the 4-Hers. Anyone who qualifies, or I say anyone who qualifies, if you're in Woods County, you can enter the Woods County Fair. Just go into the different categories, see what's available. If you have questions, go give the OSU Extension office a call, and Susan or Katie would love to help you out. So make sure that you are watching for the Fair Book coming into the Alva Review Courier newsgram.
Sounds good. As always, Jody, thank you so much for your time. We always appreciate it. Folks, we will be back tomorrow with Rosamond. At least I hope we're back, unless something terrible happens. I don't want to put that out there. But we should be back tomorrow, normal time, 11 a.m. Rosamond should be an exciting show. What guests are we going to have? That's a question for tomorrow's episode. But, folks, until next time, we're going to turn it back over to regular programming here on KALV.